A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about the combination of Mars and Mercury in our charts and see what its placements in different houses of the chart brings for us. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do, and do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. While talking about the combination of Mars and Mercury, it becomes essential to understand the individual planets. Mars is the ruler of the 1st and the 8th house of the Kalpurush Kundali and is a typical go-getter, warrior, the one who is quick to take actions. But having said this, Mars is also very good at logical reasoning, is passionate by nature, and Mars also knows how to strategize. It is a one which has a lot of anger within, so it is important for us to know how to control that anger. Mars is also a planet of controversies. Let's move on to Mercury. Mercury is that planet that is again quick to think of, but it is business oriented. Anything that requires to learn is very important for Mercury, and Mercury is apt at learning. Mercury takes the color of the planet that it sits with or in the house that it sits with. So for Mercury, adaptability is the key word. Having done these karakatvas, now let's go about seeing what Mars and Mercury combination can bring us. Don't forget, in the Kalpurush Kundali, they are not good friends. In fact, they are said to be enemies. Why? Because when Mercury attacks, it makes sure the attack is not upfront, whereas Mars is an upfront attacker. Their relationship is that of 6-8. If you take the combination of Gemini and Aries, you will find it's 3-11, but Gemini and Scorpio is 6-8. So, whenever you find Mercury and Mars in a chart together, one essential and very quirky fact is that during its dasha, antardasha, pratyantardasha periods together, these planets will bring you an upliftment in certain area of the house, life, especially that area where they are sitting together, but they will also leave behind a sense of unfulfillment. So, you might just feel that there is certain area, had there been a little more, had this also accompanied this upliftment, I would have got a better deal. But the deal is never complete when Mars and Mercury are together. This is, I have found out to my amazement. Now let's look at the ascendants, or let's look together what they can do. When Mars and Mercury are together, one is very passionate about their profession. One is very passionate about trading. One can be related to a very authoritative position. One can have a razor sharp brain about the work that they are doing, and the logical mind is always hyperactive. Another fact that we see about the Mars-Mercury combination is one can have a business in arms or ammunition factory. One can trade in land. One can trade in real estate. Wherever one puts their interest in, especially in business, they will really flourish. So now let's look into the places or the placement of Mars and Mercury in different houses. When Mars and Mercury are placed together in the Lagna, such a person will have a great sense of business. Such a person can be direct, aggressive and harsh, but their wealth building skills, their business skills are top notch. They have a passion for working in life and achieving success. With the Digbali Mercury, such a person knows what he or she wants to learn and then goes for it. So, the person does end up getting a good recognition in society, but may not be able to garner that amount of wealth. When we talk about Mars and Mercury in the second house, such a person, by their dint of their hard work, they know how to make money. They have a good business acumen and very logical, practical, and their approach of taking up business opportunities is great. They have a mind which is strategic, which is practical, and so they know what to study so that they can take their business forward, and they are good at it. When Mars and Mercury are present in their third house, people look younger than their age. They have the ability to converse very practically and efficiently convince people about their deal, and so they make great personal managers, they make great salespersons, and also can do a lot of business through agency work. They have the ability to attract people who are younger than them and get a lot of ideas through them. When we talk about Mars and Mercury together in the fourth house, where Mars is supposed to be the Bhumi Sutta, so these people have a lot of landed properties, these people have a lot of property which or homes, they have a lot of wealth, they live a luxurious lifestyle. However, they may not be getting along well with their family people. Also, these people have a lot of friends who care for them and who do a good job with them. Let's talk about Mars and Mercury in the fifth house. When we talk about Mars and Mercury in the fifth house, it gives people a lot of name and fame through strategic planning, and these people can also do a lot of good work through PR management. They can join big companies, they can make money through big companies, they can also be good motivational speakers. People who have Mars and Mercury in the fifth house can also get money through lotteries and these sudden kind of monies. What more, these people are good with ideas, so their writing skills are well developed, and they can also work as ad managers. They can earn money through businesses which are related to furnace, which are related to fire activities or factories, and that is a good amount of money that is involved there. Let's talk about the sixth house. When Mars and Mercury are present in the sixth house, a person has great sense of business. How to rule out competition is something that they know right from the beginning, and inherently so. However, when they are very ruthless in that area, they can cause a lot of troubles for their own self. These people should also be very aware of the three doshas or the health issues, because Mercury is said to be exalted in the sixth house and Mars is the Karaka of the sixth house. It can bring you problems such as rashes in the skin, etc. when the Mars and Mercury are both extremely active in the sixth house. So, learn to balance out the doshas also. When Mars and Mercury are placed in the seventh house for a person, such a person rises on the top of his work or rises in society at a great level. Why so? Because they have the ability and they have the passion to work towards becoming a well-known person. They also can create a lot of controversy by their talks, by their articulations, by their writings, and hence can be people that others don't want to associate with. However, they also are very strong in their portrayal of their self and hence do make a name for themselves. They might have problems in their first marriage or first relationship due to the relationship not sustaining for a long period of time. Let's talk about the 8th house. The 8th house is the house where Mars in the Kalpurush Kundali has its own say, and so Mars dominates when it is placed in the 8th house and in association with Mercury. Such people know how to make money through other people's money. In fact, if this combination is afflicted, then such people do turn out to forcibly take up other people's money. Also, they can steal or they can forcibly take up their inheritance also. These people are good with Tantra also. They can use it to heal others or they can also use it to hurt others depending on the aspect that this Mercury or Mars has. For this, you can look into the chart of Osho. Let's talk about Mars and Mercury in the 9th house. When Mars and Mercury are present in the 9th house, such people have a foresight, they have an ability to see things beyond what others can see, and they can have a sight which futuristic abilities. For example, if they are into finance, because the 9th house also talks about your luck. So, when Mars and Mercury are placed here, they can be very good in finance and they can see things on a long term basis. However, if it is afflicted, this can also result in there being cheats or fraudsters. Again, 9th house Mars and Mercury can give one travel related to work. Let's talk about the 10th house Mars and Mercury. The Mars and Mercury present in the 10th house shows a person's ability to be good at the position that they are in. In fact, to climb to the top of their position. Why so? Mars becomes Digbali in the 10th house, and in the 10th house of the Kalpurush, Mars is said to be the exalted. So, these people will always look out for the greatest position possible. Even if they are in business, they would want to be at the highest sense of achievement. They would know how to cut costs ruthlessly. What is essential is important. They also would be very good at PR, because they would know how much to showcase, how to showcase to garner the best possible business deals. So, these people in their business also are good with showcasing things or show offing things, which will give them a lot of business. Let's talk about the 11th house. The Mars and Mercury in the 11th house is a good combination for a researcher. Mars here gives a logical thinking, and for those researchers especially involved in economics, for those involved in study of shares, debentures, they would be making good money here, because this Mars and Mercury helps them to logically find a path and move towards earning good in life. However, you can find that either you are earning good or you are associated with great companies. You may not just want to be associated with great companies, maybe a personal very personal person, and that you can see in the chart of Merlin Streep. In the chart of Merlin Streep, we see that her Mars and Mercury are placed in the sign of Taurus, in the 11th house and in the nakshatra of Rohini. This Mars and Mercury are in close conjunction with each other. This has given her an ability to get a lot of wealth, get a lot of recognition, and yet, as I have always maintained, that it will also give you a certain amount of elusiveness, certain seclusion. Why? Because Mercury here also happens to be the 12th lord of seclusion. A very vibrant figure on the public platform, and yet very seclusive in her private life, is something that we see with this combination, as I told you earlier. In Rohini, it has given her a lasting career, and in Rohini, it has also made her one of the most reliable actresses from a long period of time. Also, we can say that with Rohini, a steady career is seen, a steady rise is seen, and what more, the combination of Mars and Mercury has given her the wit and passion that we see so strongly in one of her very loved movies, The Devil Wears Prada, a very epitome of the Mars-Mercury combination in her chart. So, now let us move on to the 12th house. In the 12th house, we see that people who have this combination of Mars and Mercury there can be very good at deciding the budgets of expenditure and making the expenditure in the right direction. They can make the best out of a maximum budget, where they learn to spend enough to showcase what they want to do, to make a show of things, and yet do not go beyond their limits. These people are also good travelers, and they have an ability to suppress others whom they consider as enemies, competitive to the core. Do let us know how you found this video, and don't forget to write in your comments, your suggestions, and the house in which this combination finds in your chart or those around you. Till we meet with you again, stay safe.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.